This is Smithy.tv.
3, 2, 1. Hey, this is Kenny Robinson with.
Clifton Joseph, how you doing, y'all?
Yeah, we are going to break down the news for you here on Smitty TV.
Break it down, break it down.
We've been gone for a while, but since we were here last, there's some other people here that are no longer here with us. We lost the purple one.
Oh man, yeah, that was really tragic. I mean, he did a show in Toronto, and then did shows all over the place, Atlanta, and then there was that mysterious bulletin that he had flown back to Minneapolis in his private plane.
Oh no, it was somewhere he was going from somewhere, and they landed in Moline, Illinois.
Oh, is it Illinois?
Which should have been reason enough for anybody to die, having to go to Moline, Illinois. And they said it was a flu, but since then the scandal mongers have all come out and said that they had to give him the anti-overdose shot and all this other stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk like that, yeah. But Prince is a brilliant talent, a singular talent, one of the best talents we've seen in the music industry for years and years, Kenny.
Well, even beyond that, I mean, the word genius gets thrown around a lot, but I think you can
By cats like Kanye West.
Well, Kanye only throws it up, and he only plays catch against the wall because nobody else is throwing it with him. But I think once you throw the title of genius to Prince, it doesn't need to be thrown back.
True. 20 instruments, played 20 instruments. That first album, when he was, what, 17, 18?
Like that.
Persuaded Warner Brothers to let him do the entire project himself.
But even more than that, on his tours, he did all the choreography for the dancers. He designed the costumes for everybody. He did everything but order everybody's menu. And he was a vegetarian, so it was already ordered for everything backstage.
Wow.
Gee, you think we could get a deli platter? Well, if you can find some kosher carrots, yeah. So,
And he always looked out for, I mean, of all of the popular musicians around, I mean, he not bent over backwards, but it was a matter of course that he would have women dominating his bands.
absolutely. He had all women bands. I think Third Eye Blind. Was it not Third Eye Blind? What was the tour before this piano tour? I think his entire band was made of women.
And including, and he has an affinity for Canadian. There was that tall guitarist from Montreal, Cat, that played with him for years. And then he recently got
A girl from Mississauga.
Grantis. Yep, she
Yeah.
used to play with Saida Baba Taliba in town here, who's got a new band. Well, she changed the name of the band to Sate. So yeah, Prince always said Sheila E.
Yep.
You know, so. I mean, what do you say about a singular talent like that, man? It gone too soon, Kenny. The dude was like 50-something.
And some people say that his most creative days have passed. And I've been reading that he said he was even tired of recording and just wanted to perform live. And but they say now that vault, they say he could release a new album every year for the next 100 years.
You know, and of course he played with a whole bunch of people, Miles Davis included.
Miles was in love with him. Miles couldn't believe what he was throwing down.
And I'm reminded of what Miles had said about when they said, Miles, when are you doing a new album? When are you doing a new album? And Miles said, ask the record companies. They've got about 40 of my albums waiting until I die to release them.
And they still haven't released them.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the interesting thing, too, Ken, is I remember Prince. Remember his slave days? He fought Warner
Yeah.
Brothers for his masters. He had a legendary quote saying to young musicians who he say he would advise them not to sign because it's the recording industry business is slavery. He says, if you don't own your masters, your master owns you.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's how that whole symbol then became the artist known as.
Dig, dig, dig.
You know? And now the big thing is they say his estate could be worth 300 million and up, and he left no will.
Ha ha ha.
And
Now,
I'm thinking maybe he did that on purpose. Maybe because he was very religious in his last 15, 20 years, being a Jehovah's Witness. So maybe he's thinking, well, I can't take it with me, so let me see how y'all going to act with my money.
well, again, I hope that that's not true because I would be a tremendous oversight because the other thing about Prince is that the dude was a marvelous philanthropist and didn't want to be known for
Absolutely.
it. Gave
Well,
money
because his
away.
Religion did, also part of his religious background did
Yeah.
funny thing. Yeah.
And I mean, he did all kinds of things. I remember reading that. Remember when Lauryn Hill was in jail there for that brief moment?
His main concerns were her children.
Yep, called up and he financed the whole.
Didn't she have enough baby daddies to worry about her children? Wouldn't you think that's what would have fell onto? Don't mean to slight the Marley family, but they could have took a couple of pickaninnies in and threw them in.
You done lost one. You done. Wyclef.
So, yeah, definitely. I mean, there's, and the thing is, we just found out so much about Prince after he died. Like, I read somewhere that all these piano pop-up concerts he was doing was basically to try and drop in money to help out whatever local
Yeah,
interests that he had.
including Black Lives Matter, I believe.
That was a big one, and then he also had Black something matters, but it wasn't Black Lives Matter. It was something to do with trying to make sure that kids get tech savvy. So,
Oh yes, he had a whole
and he was, he was spending money on books and libraries, saving like the first Black library in Georgia or something. So I mean, there's no shortage of what the man was doing. But I'd rather talk about the scandal.
Well, which one?
Well, I mean, first of all, there's a guy came up and said he's Prince's 20-year-old son. And of course, everybody on the internet was getting mad about that. But I looked at him, I said, well, that chin and that pouty little mouth and those eyes look like they could be Prince. And considering that none of his children that he tried to have were able to survive, it would kind of be bittersweet all of a sudden. But you got to think with all the women Prince done had, there got to be a baby somewhere.
Well, or that somebody's got to look like Prince somewhere. So those people are coming out of the woodwork. I would be doing it too, maybe. Who knows?
But then again, I guess you go up there in Minneapolis and you could look 1,000 places. Then I read that Prince, even like he was estranged from his father. Maybe I'm like my father, too demanding, but he even tried to set his father up in a record deal. And the old man showed up with an accordion. So I guess even Prince said, this is too funny for me.
It's not going to work. It's not going to happen.
I guess father and son fought over what instrument the father is going to play. And the father's like, well, who taught you to play piano? And he's going, but Dad, the tracks I'm laying up for isn't really accordion friendly, So.
Well, you can deal with the scandals, Kenny, but I'd like to deal with so many of my favorite musicians Prince has worked with. We talked about...
Jimmy Jam?
Yeah, of course, Jimmy Jam. But we talked about Miles. But my man, George P. Funk Clinton, Mavis Staples, and...
Well, actually, they say that they were supposed to have a big album together that Prince produced for Staples. Also, I hear there's a Bonnie Raitt album that went untouched.
Oh, wow.
And they say there's all kinds of copies of Prince doing country music. So people say we'll never see the likes of him again. But what I say is somewhere in North America... because I don't want to give Europe or Africa or anybody else the credit. North America's the shit. Somewhere in North America, there is another awkward, socially inept person.
Absolutely.
In a basement.
Working their ass off.
Playing his ass off in that basement. And his family is saying, damn, I wish he had some friends.
Yeah. What you go to get some fresh air, son?
Yeah, and when he comes out of that bunker... they're gonna be something else, So
and then when you look at a guy like Prince, you say a guy like that in the basement now, or a gal would be saying, look, it can be done.
It can be, especially coming from Minneapolis. And he stayed there.
Not known for funk, not known for the hotbed of funky music like Cincinnati, Ohio, or a place like that.
Them Ohio players and what have you.
Oh,
But,
hey, don't sleep on Cincinnati, but
but then again, I guess Bob Dylan can't be the only thing out of the North Country.
And here's what George said about Prince, and the reporters asked him, you're collaborating with Prince. What's up? How's Prince? How do you describe him? He said, Prince is what you call a positive nuisance.
Absolutely.
George said it.
And one more thing before we got to wrap this up with Prince. And even he was still, a lot of his music was spiritual and religious tones.
And sexual.
Well, very sexual for somebody that was celibate the last couple of years of his life. Which leads to some other ugly rumors.
The dude is sweet.
They will not come off my lips, those ones. But he was doing, he did his song for Ferguson, and he was doing the concerts for Baltimore. And like you said, everywhere where Black Lives Mattered, he was there trying to make it count. So I know we're 10 days, 2 weeks. My daughter now, I always wanted to take her to see two people, Springsteen and Prince. And never had the money or the ticket availability to take her to see either of them yet.
Big.
But I was on my way to Cornwall on the weekend to do a gig, and there's a record store, Brian's in Kingston, where they got everything, and this guy's kind of like a strange
I just saw Brian's vinyl all over the place.
Yeah, posters like you've never believed, and he knows where every cassette, CD, 8-track, and album is in that place. So I said, well, my daughter said, can you get me some Prince vinyl? And I said, well, if there's anywhere, it's going to be Brian's. So Brian said, I didn't even know Prince was dead till somebody came in and bought half of everything I had, and then people just came and picked the other stuff off. And he says, so if I do get any Prince, it will be the new remastered.
He's sold out then.
They
Yep, he sold more albums than Rihanna just after he died.
Well, that's always the case.
Yeah.
You know, so
Streaming and all, you don't even have to sell albums.
you know.
these
And do you
days.
believe the Illuminati or special forces had anything to do with Prince's death?
I wouldn't be surprised if the special forces aligned with the entertainment industry had something to do with it. These catalog is very, 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 very
But if
lucrative.
he's dead, they still don't get it. He's just dead.
No, apparently, I don't know. I mean, the jury's out on that because apparently one stipulation in the contract that got him back the masters was that if he dies, then it reverts back to the company, Warner
I don't
Brothers.
think that's in there.
Yeah, but that
You know,
sounds.
what's the point of
I
getting
mean,
it back then?
yeah, exactly.
That's a guarantee in your demise.
But here's something. Sony just bought the catalog that Michael Jackson had for
Yeah.
$750 million, Kenny. That's $750 million.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. How much you think Prince's thing will be worth?
Oh,
next little
definitely
while?
more. You know. So anyway, as we said, it's just, you know, he was a soundtrack of our youth and our adulthood. You
Wanna
know?
be your lover.
I mean, I remember teaching my daughter's 25 now. She is 2. I was teaching her to sing "My Name Is Prince and I Am Funky," and also "Sexy Motherfucker Shaking That Ass, Shaking." That was that. You could hear that Frank Zappa influence on that the chorus. But anyway, there's so many influences with Prince, and Prince went forth and influenced so many, and he's music that not only are we going to miss the new stuff, but we're going to miss being able to pick up his stuff in the secondhand record bins.
True.
Anyway, that's it for that one, folks. So go home. If you're not at home, get naked, put on Purple Rain, get your cigarette lighter, go back and forth. Not your cell phone. Do it old school. Do it with your lighter. And
Matches if you can get them.
and in the words of Moore's Day, how's the family, kid? Anyway,
Purple rain, purple rain.
this is Clifton Joseph. I'm Kenny Robinson. This is coming. There's noise coming down from Smitty TV's bunker, the bunker of Smitty TV, and we've been breaking down the news. Consider it broke.